Hello everybody and welcome to Chess 24. Our topic of today's show is the highlights of round 8 in Qatar. I'm Lawrence Trent, this is Jan Gustafsson. How are you doing?
I thought we were talking about 80s rap music.
We can talk about 80s rap music.
Yeah?
Was there a rap music in the 80s?
Of course there was.
There
Best rap music there was. It wasn't so explicit. You know, there was a lot of loads of great stuff. I'll bring in some
Quest, were they around
Tribe
in
Called
the
Quest.
80s?
Yeah, I think they were not.
89?
Yeah, maybe late 80s. I saw them once randomly. But
That's very uninteresting. What is interesting is that in Qatar, Anish Giri and Vladimir Kramnik were tied on 6 out of 7 going into this round 8. Kramnik did defeat Giri in round number 7. Is on a little 5 out of 5 run.
yeah.
You want to jump right into his game of round 8?
Let's go
Is that
for
what you
it.
wanna do?
That's what we want to do. That's what we're here for. We're
You
bringing
want
you
to
all
see
the
some
action.
pictures first? We got some pictures.
We can see some pictures.
Let's have a look at some pictures. Not those pictures, probably. Those are just a bunch of videos. See how well we prepared this? Here, we got a
There he
picture of
is.
Kramnik on board 2, still on board 2. Hasn't knocked off Anish Giri off his pedestal. We see him in the back there. Kramnik black pieces against Salem, strong player from the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, nice guy as well. Yep, there's a picture. Nice
Want to see
little...
how it went?
Yeah, let's do it.
That's how we do it.
Well,
We're not starting from scratch
no.
because we're lazy.
No, also, we don't want to make a 2-hour-long video. The guys want their information short, snappy, quick. They want to know the exciting moments. This is a roundup show.
Is that what the guys want?
This is a roundup show, not a live commentary. Let's join the position
so
here.
let's round it up.
Move 23, basically, this is the position.
Nothing going on.
Not much going on. Equal material. 2 versus 2 on the queen side, 4 versus 4 on the king side. A couple of double pawns, but really I mean, you would expect this to end in a draw 95% of the time. I mean, White's got good control of the c file. A7 is weak. B6 might be weak. In fact, if I took any one here, it would be white. Yeah.
It's equal.
It's equal, but anyway, the point is Salem, who's having a great tournament, you know, he's got one little weakness, that little pawn on h2.
Remember that pawn.
That pawn, remember the 7th, 5th of November is how the song goes.
Not the 1st of December?
No. That pawn on h2, remember it. Now let's have a look. Now
Let's make some moves. Rook
Rook
c6,
c6.
whatever. King e7, whatever.
Oh, by the way, it's worth
A3.
pointing out you can't take on a7 because of rook a8, I
Runs
suppose.
into rook a8.
And you take the
Which
pawn.
is still dead equal, frankly.
Still dead equal. You put the king on g2 and...
Yeah, just go away. And b6 is still hanging.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you...
Not much going on.
No.
Rook b2 and should end in a draw.
Yep.
He didn't do that. He went a3, which can't be that wrong either. Probably had some hopes of his own here, like taking that pawn, but
Yeah.
just rook d7.
No, everything's covered. Rook c8.
c8.
No, he
a
kicked
bit.
it back. b5.
bit.
Still, I mean, with the white rook active, you just can't imagine black winning this ever. But,
I can imagine it.
well...
Says 1 on the screen.
Yeah, no.
And it's Kramnik with the black pieces. They say he's a good tech guy.
He's overrated. Rook d6.
I'm not sure he's overrated. He's making a bit of a comeback.
Yeah,
Like
he's doing all right.
winning rating in this open tournament.
Unbelievable. And now rook h8 is probably the first slightly bad move by Salem because it doesn't actually threaten anything after the lovely move g5.
Right. Yeah. It was still time to peter out.
Yeah, just go
get rid of
A4.
these guys. a4, takes, go knight c5, shake hands, go home.
That's right.
Rook h8. He was probably hoping to provoke g5, h5.
Yeah.
But Kramnik played g5,
Nice
which is a
little move.
more ambitious move, stopping this because of knight f4 or knight d4. Knight d4 looks even better.
Yeah, and you win the rook, so you can't do that. So he went back to a8.
Back, already
But,
starting to drift a little bit. Nothing too serious, still in equal
The
position.
next phase is really nice. So we talked about that pawn on h2, and Kramnik thinks, okay, I'm going to get there. But he doesn't get there with the rook, he doesn't get there with the knight, he gets there with the king.
Nice
King
little
f6.
king march,
Yeah.
king f6. It's not the individual moves, it's the concept he wants
Beautiful.
to eat.
Just eat shredded wheat. Knight a2, already super ambitious, still holding. But knight d8, king e1 was a very... and now the problem is you can't go king f1.
Not sure why he went king e1. but white is clearly drifting, not really having much of a plan.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world, the position is still equal. I probably went king e1 to stop knight c6 if you played like a random move, let's say knight c1. Maybe this bothered him and you can't take.
Yeah, you can't take because of knight d4 check, right?
So that's why I went king e1. Well, it does look like a bit of a blah move.
And black's getting active all of a sudden. Knight c1, king h4.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You need a plan in the end game.
King
Else,
h3. Unbelievable.
Got a plan.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden...
Look at that king. Attacking piece in the end game.
There's been some famous king marches in history. Nigel Short against Jan Timman comes to mind. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Recently we had a nice king march by Wang Hao against Viktor Bologan.
Gajewski Trent World Championships.
That one is, goes without saying. I think everybody knows it. That's why I'm
actually being deadly serious. Have you not seen my game against Gajewski? Got my king into g3 with all the major pieces still on.
Beautiful. I'll check it out right after.
No, you won't. Knight d4.
Knight d4, attacking f5.
But now f4 is very strong.
And f4.
Suddenly...
And it starts to crumble a little bit. h2 is hanging. This pawn could potentially be a very dangerous pass pawn.
No,
what we're basically saying is Kramnik is good. He's good technician.
White
you
also
can't
played
bide your time against it.
White played terribly to allow this.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. To allow this position.
It's tough if you're sitting across Kramnik, like going through the moves, it looks like it didn't have much of a plan.
Nah.
Sometimes you don't know where the real danger is.
I think I would already be having dinner at this point.
Yeah, you would have lost already. You would never have got there.
Or knight f5, that's another bad move.
Well, that's why I play rook a8.
Rook a8, king h2.
But now the pawn is gone.
Now it's a pawn, and you got a passed h-pawn.
What else are you going to do but knight f5?
Knight f5, rook f6 is strong, and now after e4, knight c6.
How about a cute little tactic? That's where you see the best strategy has to be served by tactics. Rook f6, attacking this knight, leaving his own knight on praise, because if you win somewhere, you lose your pride and joy.
Yeah, but you can still play knight takes h6 after rook f6.
Why didn't he?
It's a very good question. I think he was probably worried about takes, and just king g2, right?
Yeah, this might be unpleasant. Go here.
That said, it might not be. Yeah, and g4, that's a very strong move.
Takes
and
f3.
And you win f2. No, that's losing. No,
this is a run.
That's gone. That's gone. Gone with the wind.
Do you see Gone Girl? Excellent movie.
No, didn't.
Very good movie.
Okay.
I even read the book.
Good. He went rook f6, e4 instead, but already by now it was starting to get serious because now another fantastic move, knight c6. And the point is that after rook takes a6, you've got now, and Kramnik had to see this, rook e6 or rook g6 as he played was brilliant. With the idea of playing knight e5, the rook you can't do that now because the rook's undefended, so rook g6, and now knight e5 is a huge threat.
I just want to queen the pawn.
And queen the pawn. You can go king g2, h5, h4, h3, h2, and so on. And he made the rest look simple, Mr. Kramnik. King f1, knight e5, rook a5, tried to do something, but after
this race
is a bit like Usain Bolt versus Jan Gustafsson over 100 meters.
Or Usain Bolt versus Jan Gustafsson in chess.
Or
I'd crush Usain Bolt in chess.
I'm not sure you would. Do you think you would crush him more in chess than he would crush you in 100 meters?
I don't know. I need like 16 seconds to run 100 meters.
How long?
That's
long.
Let's be realistic. 18, 19.
18? You need?
Nah, I'm joking.
Maybe now you do. You haven't done any exercise for years.
I haven't exercised like ever. Even as a baby, I didn't exercise.
No? How fast do you think you could do it? Really? 18 seconds is double.
Nah, I'm kidding. Like 13, I think.
No, please go away. You wouldn't do it in 13. You've never run a race before. You'd be lucky if you did it in 16.
I'd checkmate him in 13 moves.
Do you think he would... You would checkmate him in 13 moves? Why don't we get this sponsored? Usain Bolt versus Jan Gustafsson.
But we need like a tiebreaker. Because I'm pretty sure
Arm
I'll
wrestling.
win chess and he's going to win.
Arm wrestling?
No, I'm pretty sure he's got me covered in arm wrestling.
So anything physical, he's got you covered in, basically. Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard. Anyway, we'll think about it.
Kramnik had Salem covered in the Zanik.
Yeah, no.
He's just pushing the pawns. Knight g3. I'm not quite sure what the point is after FG. It's probably checkmate.
Mate. It's a nice little try. Cute little mate, but he didn't fall for it.
No,
and
surprisingly. Normally he would just take it right and then see what happens.
Julie went on to win, H4 and then G3. And look at those guys running up the board.
Yeah, it's pretty much game over. Sorry for not explaining all these moves in detail.
Don't really require it.
No, but clearly the race
has been won.
It's a bit of a head start. Like, do you see the movie The Dictator?
I did, yeah.
You remember that 100-meter race?
I do, yeah.
It's a bit like that.
Yeah, that's right at the beginning as well of the movie, isn't it?
Great. The only funny part of the movie.
Well, it's a good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. Anyway, he won the race, and in a few moves, Salem resigned. Let's go on to another.
No, let's briefly.
Okay, 94.
Show the finish. He just to rub it in. He picks up this pawn, and he queens his own pawns. H3, H2. You can win the race. So Kramnik did his job, and he is on 7 out of 8. 6 out of 6. Nice little run by Vladimir Kramnik.
Very good run.
Duplicating Anish Giri's run. And speaking of Anish Giri, things didn't go all that well for him today.
No, he tried against Vladimir yesterday, tried to take a pawn, keep hold of it, lost quite badly. And today with the white pieces, this is really
facing very dangerous opponent, Yangyi, young Chinese guy, 19 years old, I think. For those of you who followed the Olympiad, Yangyi was kind of the go-to guy for the Chinese team, really carried them throughout the tournament. Tremendous player when he's in shape, 2,700 plus player. And not a very pleasant assignment for Giri in the situation in an open tournament.
No, but then again, with the white pieces, the way Anish was playing before yesterday, you'd think, well, he should have a chance. But actually,
of course he has a chance. He's a high-rated player. He's Anish Giri. But it didn't go well today.
No, it didn't.
And it starts here after C5. This is a highly fashionable line, and we know Anish is a very well booked up guy. I'm surprised he goes for this with white. He plays the move E3. In my opinion, DC5 is interesting, but it doesn't matter. E3, C4, Bishop E2. This used to be fashionable for a while, with black trying G5 and Knight E4 here. Not both. G5 followed by Knight E4. This was some crazy stuff. Rook C1 and who knows what's going on. But Yangyi, I think, played a beautiful game here. Just played Bishop F5, castles takes, castles, Knight BD7. And this structure already, I'm slightly scared if I'm white. Black has this space advantage and he has this really homemade plan of pushing his queenside pawns. With white, you have to make something happen.
Which he didn't do, did he? He played Knight E5, but after Queen B6, it wouldn't surprise me if this is all home preparation, by the way, by Yangyi.
No, certainly. And, well, it's natural moves too.
Yeah, just put his rooks in the...
That's a position that's very hard to understand somehow, because looks like white is fine. He has the 2 bishops, he has this majority in the center. But his pawn breaks are very hard to get in. Well, really, black will put his queen on C6 or wherever. Just start running. So much easier to play. So I think it went wrong early, which is very, very untypical for Anish Giri. Not quite sure where it went wrong. Wait. You think it went wrong here already?
I think it's going right.
You think his seconds gave him
I think
bad advice?
I think his second there needs definite talking to after the game.
I think, yeah.
Certain level of punishment.
She's telling him there, C5 you go, E3 and just play Bishop E2 and don't worry about nothing.
Yeah. I think that's exactly what she said, actually.
It does look like she said that. Yeah, then, or maybe she said, try to break the guy's hand at the handshake.
Yeah. He's not quite built for that, though, Anish. He's quite a thin guy. Not much meat on him.
You're always talking about his physique. It's really getting disturbing.
Is it?
Maybe not.
You're trying to tell him he's going to break his hand. I thought the physique was quite crucial to that whole argument, right?
That's right.
I mean, if Artur Yusupov was sitting there, I would say he's got a very good chance.
I've shaken Artur's hand before. Here's a soft handshake.
Do you like soft hands?
He doesn't try to break your hand. No.
Or do you like rough? Do you like it rough or soft?
I don't know. I feel like if someone doesn't really shake your hand, but they're just putting it there, I think it's weird.
That's annoying.
It's also annoying me if someone holds the hand too long. So yeah, It's a bit of a science.
There are a lot of these.
There's a lot of these.
Yeah. A lot of my female opponents have done that, but maybe there's a reason for that.
Right, and that's a different story. What's not a different story
and he just got the pawns going.
There's all this race, and it's really plays so easily for black. That's one of the reasons why this opening is so en vogue. Bit of maneuvering here, back and forth. I'll tell you when it all goes wrong, but it already has gone wrong strategically.
It's gone really wrong for... Yeah, just... Yeah, bit of
Knight A4,
moving around.
Queen D6, and now B4 is coming and can't be stopped anymore. Earlier, you could try Queen B2 or Rook B2. Here, it's basically a game already.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Because with this passed pawn and the white bishops, they're bishops, but they're so passive.
Gross.
Giri decided to give up a pawn to free himself. But this position was really a matter of technique for the young Chinese. And he crushed Anish Giri with black.
Great result.
0 out of 2 for Anish. Started with 6 out of 6, then 0 out of 2.
Yeah, not a good result for him, and you know, he needs to. Well, it's the last. Is it the last round tomorrow?
I think tomorrow's the last round, but now all of a sudden he's a point behind Vladimir Kramnik.
Well, he's never going to.
And on 6 out of 8, he's not.
He's not even in second place now. So bad news for Anish. Let's look at one more game for the roundup.
You got another one?
Just one more little game that caught my eye because I thought it was very pretty the way it finished.
Right here.
Pavel Eljanov, the very strong 2700 plus Ukrainian grandmaster, playing our friend Erwin Lamy, the Dutch grandmaster. And after what must be said was a very dodgy opening from what I don't believe it at all. We don't have to go into it. We got a position where
start here?
Yeah, we'll start here where he's managed to get some play. Attacking the queen, Anish moved it back, and he just started to launch these pawns up the queen side, and I found the next move already. I thought, oh, that's really asking for it. Castle's long. I mean,
where are you going to castle though? You can't castle kingside.
Yeah, I understand. You probably can. I mean, it's a tricky one. Maybe it was forced, but after b5, now you're forced to go f6.
I like it. F4 is en prise, as we say in France.
Yeah, but the problem is you can have that pawn, which Lewin did, but now you get the king tucked away, and the bishop moves. You hit the queen.
A lot of activity.
And c5, and this is the position really I was looking at. I thought, this looks a bit, This
looks dangerous. All kinds of pawn breaks in the air. b6, c6, this dude is hanging.
And it looks as though maybe black can survive. He played bishop's g6, which I think is probably a decent move.
Did you hear, by the way, that Eljanov was one of Carlsen's seconds?
I heard that.
Not in this match, but in the last match, I think.
Oh, in the last match.
That was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Well, he's a creative guy, so it doesn't...
Very hard worker, too,
Eljanov.
Yeah. Really.
Nice guy. c6, yeah, that's a good move. You're looking to break somehow. b6 may have also been very possible here. But c6 feels kind of more natural.
Why can't I go b6, keep it closed?
Well, if you go b6, I think I'm mating you with... Yeah. Am I going here first, or...?
I don't know.
Some move. I think I might. I mean, rook takes e6.
Queen a4 looks tempting, but it's not quite there yet.
Maybe rook takes e6 is just good enough. And this pawn is just huge. You're always getting hit.
It's a nice little pawn.
Nah, and you're not even material up here with black. It's going wrong around here, so you can't do that. He took, but now after takes... Now, the next few moves, I have to admit, Erwin, it surprised me. Because he just didn't address the problems. It's a bit like our Prime Minister, David Cameron. You know, you got a deficit, you got various problems here and then everywhere, and like most politicians, you just don't address the core of the issue.
What's the core of the issue?
Well, there's numerous cores of numerous issues, but the point is they don't address them. In this position, we know the core of the issue is this king. So for me, playing rook hg8 is kind of with zero threats, by the way, because g2 is feels a bit, you know. I would have played rook hg8 probably, at least defend a pawn and play rook e7. But rook hg8, okay, he's safeguarded anyway with g3. And now he just went on the attack. It's a bit cheeky, isn't it, really? He's not ever made
What are you going to do?
Well, I think you have to put the rook on e8 and play rook e7 and get the king safe. But he went h5. Eljanov snapped that boy off on e6. Now he can move that rook thanks to g3. And h4, I just couldn't believe he played this move. The cheek.
It's checkmate.
And now a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful finish. b6.
Oh, that is cute.
That's really...
I like having 2 pawns on my opponent's 6th rank. It's normally a sign of good things about him.
It's just amazing. And the problem
What happens if you take this guy?
Yeah, which is what happened. And now this fantastic idea, queen a3.
Isn't that your favorite move, queen a3?
Queen h3 is my favorite move.
Oh, okay, well, that's similar.
Not really.
It's kind of similar. It's, the queen moving to the 3rd rank of the...
Doesn't have the light square feel to it. Anyway, the point is queen a3 is coming. With the idea of queen a8 followed queen takes b7 checkmate. And after king b8,
Oh, I spotted that. Rook e7. Bang.
Yeah, rook e7 is threatening takes and queen a8 mate. If you take queen a7, king c8, and you can checkmate in at least 3 different ways. 4, in fact, in that position. 4 ways to checkmate black.
Yeah, at least 3. You were correct the first time.
So you can't do that. So after rook e7, queen a5, and now the cute little...
Can you pick up rook?
Pick up the rook. So he just blasted him open, and of course Erwin had to resign.
Well, b6.
b6 is just beautiful, and that's a lesson in attacking chess, ladies and gentlemen. It's just... it was just game over. So nice win by Eljanov.
Absolutely.
That was really what... There were always lots of good games, but that one caught my eye.
That was nice, especially this b6 move was pretty special. Let's briefly go to the Chess24 website and check the standings, shall we?
Can do, if you like.
Let's briefly do it.
We have to do it briefly.
Do you want to do it briefly, or do you want to take your time doing it?
We could go through all of the 155 players, name by name.
Nah, that's okay. Here we are.
Yeah.
It's Vladimir Kramnik in the sole lead all of a sudden.
Absolutely. Unbelievable.
7 out of 8. Yangyi, 2nd place, 6.5 out of 8. Pretty good player. Anish down to 3rd place, shared 3rd actually.
Yeah.
Shared with Vladimir Akopian, the
one,
legend of Armenian chess. And Zakhar Yefimenko, very strong Ukrainian player. Dropped a bit of rating recently, right?
Yeah,
2644, that's my territory.
Well, he's a bit higher
I'm
than
2641, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. German number 3 and rising. I might be the greatest talent German chess has seen for a long time.
I think you are. I think you really are.
And then on 5.5, we got a bunch of more players. Let's see if the pairings for tomorrow in the system. They're not there yet. Then we have to think it's going to be Kramnik against Yangyi and Giri against Akopian Yefimenko. I'm saying Kramnik is walking away with this one. He's going to play it safe tomorrow. Going to draw against Yangyi. Going to take 1st place.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. He's playing well. He's won 6 in a row. Playing great. So Kramnik to win it. He was one of the favourites, not the favourite on paper.
He started with 2 draws. He suffered terribly. And then he decided,
showed his class.
Let's win 6 in a row.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed that little roundup of today's games, but don't forget, don't remember would be a bit strange. Don't forget that we will have a final highlight show of round 9, and we hope you've enjoyed that. Remember to check out the rest of Chess24 because there is basically an unlimited amount of pleasure to be had from surfing the site.
Right. And Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah, that's the German way of Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas! You got to do it with a bit of...
We wish you Merry Christmas.
We wish you Merry Christmas, and we wish you...
A Happy New Year.
Wish you to come back tomorrow.